Alleged evidence that's been gathered in this case was from those 2 raids that were conducted on his personal homes in Miami and Los Angeles. And the indictment names the things seized that he allegedly made videos of these performances that have been named freak-offs.
The fact that Steve left the country just as Diddy was being arrested has people buzzing. Why would he flee if he had nothing to hide? It's one thing to go on a spontaneous vacation, but to leave the U.S. the moment a close associate is taken down in a massive scandal. That's not something most people would do unless they had a very good reason to. And for Steve, that reason might be fear. That reason might be fear that the authorities are closing in on him next.
Now, so what is next? Is he going to be in jail in this facility until the trial begins? Is there a chance he could, get moved earlier than that?
As of this moment, as of this hour, as of today, yes. But of course, as I mentioned earlier, they're going to be appealing this thing next to the Second U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals to overturn the judge's order here to try and get him actually released.
What's even more chilling is that it's not just Steve's attendance at these parties that's under scrutiny. There are whispers, allegedly from credible sources close to the investigation, that Steve wasn't just a passive bystander. According to these sources, the FBI has been gathering evidence for years, and they've interviewed multiple witnesses who claim Steve actively participated in some of the most shocking and illegal activities that went down at these events. We're talking about things that, if proven, could completely ruin his career and lead to serious legal consequences.
Why doesn't the government want him to turn himself in? Because then they can't ask for detention. So they go and they arrest him. They arrest a guy who came to New York to turn himself in.
For now, Steve has remained tight-lipped about all of this. He's not issued any public statement, and his representative have been suspiciously quiet. But behind the scenes, you can bet his legal team is working overtime to figure out how to navigate the storm. The fact that Steve fled the country suggests he knows there's a real possibility that he could be implicated in this scandal. After all, if he truly had nothing to worry about, why wouldn't he just stay put and defend himself?
We all saw it posted yesterday all over our social media pages. Cassie filed a lawsuit in New York City against Diddy. Yikes. She's claiming she was stuck in a decade-long cycle of abuse.
What makes this even more shocking is the sheer contrast between Steve's squeaky clean public image and the allegations now swirling around him. This is a man who has built his brand on being relatable, trustworthy, and full of down-to-earth wisdom. He's the last person anyone would expect to be caught up in something like this. But the more we learn about what allegedly went on at Diddy's parties, the more it seems like anyone who is regularly in attendance could be involved.
He controlled every aspect of her life. He is accused of frequently beating her and would hide her in hotel rooms for days until the bruising and signs of abuse were gone.
And let's not forget, Steve's close relationship with Diddy only adds fuel to the fire. Over the years, the two have been seen together at numerous events, and there's been no shortage of public admiration between them. Steve has even praised Diddy's entrepreneurial spirit and credited him as an inspiration. But now, with Diddy behind bars and facing serious charges, that relationship is suddenly looking a lot more suspicious.
And in this lawsuit, he claims that essentially P. Diddy was the Epstein of the rap industry.
The real question on everyone's mind is this: what does Steve have to hide? Is it possible that he was merely a guest at these parties and had no idea what was really going on? Or, as the rumors suggest, was he a willing participant in the activities that have now led to Diddy's downfall? The truth is still up in the air, but as more details emerge, it's becoming harder and harder to give Steve the benefit of the doubt. The fact that the FBI has reportedly been investigating Diddy's network for years means that they're not just looking at him, they're looking at everyone who's ever been closely associated with him. And Steve, with his long-standing friendship and numerous public appearances alongside Diddy, is definitely in the spotlight. If these rumors are true, Steve could be facing much more than just a PR crisis. He could be facing criminal charges that would destroy everything he's built over the past few decades.
And I remember, I don't know if you know what his voice sounds like, but I felt like I was in the presence of his monster inside.
As the investigation continues, one thing is clear. The truth about Steve Harvey's involvement in this scandal is bound to come out eventually. Whether or not he's guilty of any wrongdoing, the fact that his name is being thrown around in connection with such serious allegations is a blow to his reputation. The longer he stays silent, the more people will begin to wonder what he's really hiding.
The issue is, it seems as though he wants to kind of exert power and dominance over people who don't really